Today, we're talking about an old whiskey, a whiskey as old as me. But this is not just a 30-year-old whiskey, this is a bottle of 30-year-old whiskey that you can pick up for £50.
What sorcery is this?
This is a bottle of Butterscotch and vanilla and toast and a generation. Welcome back to GWhisky. I'm Jeff, this is Whiskey, let's crack on. GWhisky. When I first received this bottle, I wondered, are the whiskey snobs right? Is older whiskey better? Now this bottle is certainly the budget bottle to try that theory out. The main reason why I believe this bottle is so cheap is that it's a blended grain whiskey. So grain whiskey is majority distilled in column stills, which can be continuously producing spirit, and that's more cost effective than running batch distillations for molten pot stills. So with it being cheaper to run, they can also produce a lot more liquid in the same time.
In a second, you can produce a third of a dram, so probably about half of that of malt whiskey. For grain whiskey, you can produce 10 bottles.
So this is often why grain whiskey is the bulk, or at least added into the lower budget blends, like famous Grouse, Bell's, and like the majority of Johnnie Walker. Yes, for once, I did a tiny bit of research for a video. It's probably all wrong though. Also, this has been watered down to 40% ABV, the lowest a whiskey can be, and kind of a way to spread the liquid and to fill as many bottles as possible. Interestingly, Master and Malt, who are the company who's in front of or behind Atom Group's Atom Brands, it's all one big party. They have now released a cash strength version, which is 58.2%. So while it may contain some different stock, it shows roughly how much extra they could bottle it by lowering the ABV to 40%. I'm not going to do the maths to work it out though. But before I dive in, start reviewing, giving scores, as mentioned in the latest Early Bird Thursday live stream thing that I'm doing, my scoring system has changed. I plan to release like a big video announcing, talking about it, explaining it all, but I haven't got that far yet. Instead of each category being at a 6, it's now at a 10, with the total being an average of all the scores.
I almost hate to say it, but it kind of makes sense.
I think I'll do a recap of like all the reviews to include in this new scoring system, and also adjust some scores. Like I now know Dalmore is bad. Did I say that right?
Read it. Read the card, moron.
But with the last live stream, cheers to brilliant Kevin Grant and Whiskey for being my guest on that one. After the stream ended, I fear that bottle slap life got to him.
Ooh. Oh. They're getting there. Nice. Nice.
But now, let's talk experience. As mentioned in my review of the Ampersand Christmas bottle, the layout is based on the Classics Beetle t-shirt design. It's like purposefully clean and minimal, and the name again comes from the tasty notes inside. I'm pretty sure that the colour is fake. Master and Malt, tell me otherwise.
You must tell me what you know.
In truth, I was a bit confused by the generation part, because I always thought a generation was 50 years, but apparently it can span between 20 to 30 years. So while I wouldn't say the experience is very good, it definitely sits in the good camp, so I think I'm going to give it a fair 6.5 on experience. But let's get this poured and fly to the nose. Wow, it's really perfumey, like when you're walking down the aisle of Boots and they spray you all the aftershaves and perfumes in your face. It's very grainy, like dusty grain, that intercellar corn note. Very sweet, just like a white chocolate sweetness, pure sugary. It's a bit better than an average, and it kind of just falls into the good category, so let's give it 6.1 on the nose. But either way, it's time to taste. Cheers. So that texture is like super thin and silky. You could do with like an OXO cube in there to thicken it up a bit. It tastes slightly like cool. You get these caramels. You get the caramels, the butterscotch, and it's just like living up to its name. There's like some like peppery kick in there, giving it a little bit of life, but it's only like a gentle kick, a friendly kick.
Did you kick me? No.
This is a strange one. I'm getting like that grain sharpiness, but I'm also getting like this kind of bit of like custard.
I didn't say that was custard.
It's getting surprisingly waxy. Certainly keeps you drinking. Yeah, it's a bit cloyy. It's a bit dusty. It kind of leaves a bit like there's sand in your mouth. There really ain't much of a finish to this. You can maybe get a little bit of Parma Violets, but that fades really quickly. Yeah, the finish is a bit non-existent. Like, it's good. There's a fair few notes in there. A bit exciting. It's definitely not the best well-aged grain whiskey I've had. In honesty, I would have liked a bit more complexity, but you're getting what you paid for. I can see this being a great gift for someone who's like new to whiskey, as it's pretty friendly, if not it's a little bland. But the taste is pretty average, so let's give it a 5.5. You know what? I'm benevolent. 5.6 on the taste. But finally, time to talk money. Let's get to the value. Of course, overall value is completely subjective. What I can buy where I am is very different to someone watching in the other part of the world. I did debate doing like a scoring system where I divide it by how much I paid, but that was too much maths. But this bottle has been in multiple casks, just lying around for 30 years, and someone's had to be paid to watch and look after this liquid for that time. And that is pretty amazing to think about.
But I bet I hated my job even more than you. And I've been doing it for over 30 years.
I got this bottle as a gift for my 30th, and it cost just over £50 at that point, and then later it dropped in price just below the £50 mark. Looking now, it's at a $64.95, which ain't as good deal. In fact, I would say it's worth spending the extra £15 and get the cash strength edition. So while it's not great, the value is very good. So let's go for a solid 6.5 on value. Now, if my maths are correct, that is coming in at a total average of 6.2 out of 10. A good whiskey. Also, for those who don't care about the experience and value and just want to know about what is inside the bottle, I got you. It just scrapes under good with a liquid score of 5.9 out of 10. So does this prove that older whiskey is better? No, not by a long shot. But let me know your oldest whiskies and other gems that I should look out for in the comments. Massive thank you to all the YouTube members in the Bottle Slap Club. All the support is going towards like future bottles and keeping this channel slapping. And all that's left to say is all the best and cheers to the next one.